Hey everyone, it's your professional sarcastic man and seeker of attention, OzChris here with a non-review video. Just wanted to talk about a ever-present problem with a lot of DC's 12-issue series, and that's delays. And the result of what happens because of these delays. The main thing that pretty much destroys, destroys, is hype. The hype for these series have died. Essentially, they pretty much died because of these delays. Personal story with Mr. Miracle. Like when I first was hearing about Mr. Miracle, roughly around issue number 4. Issue number 4. Issue number 4 was when I decided to pick up the series. So I picked up number 4. I didn't read it, and then I back ordered the first 3 issues from. No, I back issued the second and third because I also was able to get a second or third print of Mr. Miracle number 1, which this is. Luckily, they had it. Read that, waited for 2 and 3, got those, read 4, and was like, wow, this is good, and this is great, this is amazing. And then hearing other people saying like this is one of the best comics of 2017. This is like Tom King was just kicking ass with Mr. Miracle and Batman before the wedding bamboozle, but with Mr. Miracle, pretty much whenever it's brought up, everyone just talking about how great it is and how good it is, and it's amazing. But then the delays happened, and throughout the recent months, I don't hear people talk about Mr. Miracle anymore. And with the same, what was it? The word escapes me, but the word is delayed at the moment. But no, the excitement that a lot of people had about Mr. Miracle in its first few issues is pretty much gone. Anyone that reads Mr. Miracle, I don't see a lot of people talk about it anymore. And pretty much it's because of delays. It had to be delayed because I believe it was Mitch Gerard was having he was having his first child, so he obviously had to take time off to help raise his child. So that had to be delayed. That was the initial delays. And then then after that, it suffered more delays. And the later issues kept on changing their dates. This issue will come out at the end of the end of June. It's like, oh no, it's moved up to the second week of June. Oh no, it's pushed back to July. That's not the exact dates, but it's essentially what happened, is that it kept on being delayed, and it never had the last few issues haven't had a fixed date until closer to its release date. For those who don't know, I'm very up to date on what I buy. Even though I don't have a pull list, I keep my own list on my laptop of this is what I'm buying each week for every month that currently have solicits out, and how much I buy. I check the dates regularly to make sure nothing has changed, and for the most part it doesn't. And then Mr. Miracle will just randomly be like, oh, it's actually on this date now. My LCS will release this is what's shipping in next week. And it's just wait, Mr. Miracle's coming out next week? I check my list and it's just no, this is solicited for I've got this down here for another 2 weeks later, and then I checked DC's site and it's like, oh, they pushed it up. They're releasing it a bit earlier than what they originally had it solicited as. And like I said, I check the solicits I check it on DC sites uh regularly. So just out of the blue, it's just, oh, okay, Mr. Miracle is like, okay, this is gonna slightly change what I had counted, what I'm going to spend, or even it's just one issue. It's not big, but it's just slight change, and it's like, and definitely they've been doing it for these last few issues because of the delays. They're either being pushed forward or they're being pushed back again. Like issue number 12, I believe, was supposed to finish in, like, delayed issue number 12 was supposed to finish August, I believe. I think it's for September currently at the moment. It will end in September. So yeah, like, the hype around Mr. Miracle is gone. There's not a lot of that. It's like, oh my god, Mr. Miracle, yes, definitely, this is the best comic ever of 2017 and 2018. People will say it was the best comic of 2017. 2018 right now, I don't hear a lot of people or see a lot of people say that about Mr. Miracle in 2018. That is the best comic of 2018, and I do believe it's because of the delays. The delays killed the hype. And this also happened for another DC comic right next to it, Doomsday Clock. So you had... This is the comic that will explain why Dr. Manhattan affected the DC universe and essentially created the New 52. What's going on... the previous, parts of DC's former history come back, showing, like, with the JSA, those will be coming back, characters in the Watchmen, like, after the events of their series, trying to find Dr. Manhattan for their own reasons, but pretty much this would be solving what started DC Rebirth. And that was a big deal with Doomsday Clock. And that's what a lot of people liked. It's just like this so-called future. Because it's supposed to be set a year in the future, a year in DC's future. And the original plan was that as soon as that year caught up, every other title that DC had would be caught up to Doomsday Clock, and then after it finished, it would kind of be affected by it. But then the delays happened. This was supposed to come out monthly, given the whole it's set in a future and everything will catch up in that 1 year. It was supposed to come out monthly. It's been delayed to now that it's either like bi-monthly or sometimes tri-monthly before they push it back to a bi-monthly. Same with this. Like I said, I keep up with the solicits. Like, I would have Doomsday Clock solicited for this date, put it on my list for this date, and then LCS, next week's orders at the LCS, and it's like, oh, Doomsday Clock has been pushed forward. It's like, oh, okay, sure. And this is only, Doomsday Clock has only gone halfway forward. It's not halfway forward. It's only halfway done. It's been delayed a lot. And one of the reasons why is because of the artist, Gary Frank. He's old. Just to put it simply, he's old. Like, I like Gary Frank's art. It's great. It's great art. But he takes his time. That's the thing. He takes his time with the art. And because of that, the delays happened. So they're just like, okay, we have to, the script is done. The script is done. What we've written is done. We just have to wait. We have to wait for Gary to... It's like, come on, Gary. We got to wait for Gary's art so we can color it and everything. Make heaps of copies and ship them out. All of that. And because of that, the delays killed the hype for that. A lot of people are hyped for that. I was hyped for Doomsday Clock. It's like, we're finally getting an answer to what started Rebirth. And now it's constantly delayed. It's bi-monthly now. For the meantime, it's bi-monthly. And almost everyone's interest in the series have died. Like, Doomsday Clock is used as a joke now. Like, what would happen first? Doomsday Clock would finish, or Comics Division would constantly upload videos. Like, that kind of joke, I know if you're watching this, I know, Eric Breen, James Hayes, I know you understand the jokes because, we say it, we probably say it a lot. That's why, like, Doomsday Clock is now used as a joke because of how long it's taking to finish. And it doesn't seem like it'll finish in quite some time. Like I said, bi-monthly, and it's only halfway done. Only 6 issues have done. There's still another 6 issues. It's the hype for this, the hype for Mr. Miracle are gone. Although Mr. Miracle is almost done. There's another 1 or 2 issues left. Like, it's safe to say Mr. Miracle's hype is gone. Doomsday, they're both dead. The hype is dead. And the main reason I'm worried about this is because DC has another 12-issue series that's supposed to be going for a year, and that is the Adventures of Super Sons, of the Super Sons. Definitely like Super Sons is a huge favorite from a lot of people I know that I'm friends with. They love Super Sons. Definitely pissed off that it had to be cancelled because Bendis wanted to send John away. So, but then they give us this, but it's set before the events of Man of Steel, of the Adventures of the Super Sons. No longer just Super Sons, the Adventures of the Super Sons, and it's a 12-issue maxi series, a 12-issue series. So, realistically, it should go for a year, but given the other 2 12-issue series that are still going on, there's a huge chance that Adventures of the Super Sons could be not cancelled, could be delayed, depending on the team. And I'm like, I enjoyed this issue. I like the Super Sons are great, definitely. This first issue, definitely love the first issue. Can't wait to pick up more. But will this stay as a monthly series, considering the 2 biggest examples of hype being killed by the delays? We don't know. We have to hope and pray that this doesn't suffer delays. And if it does, it's only just like, this is just pushed back in the original week. Like, it's still in, not the original week, the month. It's so, no, this issue is still in, September. It's just not in the first week of September. It's on a later week in September. Hopefully. But yeah, I just wanted to get my thoughts out on that. Do you agree? Do you agree that the hype has died because of the copious amounts of delays that Mr. Miracle and Doomsday Clock have suffered from? I I do believe so, yes. The hype is dead for those two series, and I'm hoping it doesn't happen to the Adventures of the Super Sons. Because this is great. This is a great start so far, in my opinion, and I don't want my hype of the series to disappear because it's constantly delayed. So that's it for the video. Leave a like, subscribe, hit the notification bell if you haven't already. You know, YouTube with their notifications that never works. So leave a comment, check out my Twitter and check out my previous videos, and I will see you all next time.